From Eyewitness News, this is Sports Wrap.
Hi, we're the North Kingstown Cheerleaders. Welcome to the Friday Night High School Football Wrap.
Great job, ladies. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is the second to last week of Friday Night Football. Only 6 games on the schedule next Friday night, so tonight was the final full Friday night schedule. 13 games on the docket. We have highlights from 11 of the games. We didn't get down to Newport tonight. Cranston West shut out Rogers in that game down at Topa Field. Huge Division I game in Barrington. And a huge moon over the church. 5-1 Eagles entertained 5-0 LaSalle. Possible Super Bowl preview right here. Ton of points in this one. It was like a video game. Eagles with the ball. Mike Reed with the ball, to be more specific. Mike doing his thing. 80-yard touchdown run. Barrington on top, 12-7. It was only the first quarter. Corey Fossa, David Hanson, and the Rams would respond, though, and take a 13-12 lead. But that lead was short-lived. It was all Barrington after that. Reed bust through for a second touchdown. Mike had 250 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. A little bit of everything in this game. Blocked punts, fumbles, and pick sixes. Brandon Lewis with one right here. Barrington with a 54-33 win over LaSalle. Now we're going to have to just wait and see if there's going to be a rematch between these two teams next month. Wow. Only other Division I game, North Kingstown Skippers still looking for their first win. Portsmouth needed a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. Portsmouth with a very successful opening drive. Pat Fagan hands it off to A.J. Pollock. A.J. does the rest. 7-zip Pat. Skippers come right back, though. Matt Berglund gets together here with Robbie Walker-Williams. And there he goes, the law firm. 55-yard touchdown for the home team, but Portsmouth would get into the end zone a few more times. It's Pollock again. He had 3 touchdowns. Big win for the Patriots. 28-12. They knock off North Kingstown. The 5-1 East Providence Townies, they had the weekend off. They're in great position for the playoffs in Division IIA. There were 3 teams with 5-1 records going into this weekend. Westerly and Woonsocket. 2 of those teams, they're going to play each other tomorrow. That should be a good one. Mount Hope, the other 5-1 team, Huskies in Pawtucket, taking on 2-4 Tolman. Good start for the Huskies. First drive of the game, their first touchdown of the game. The guy we like to call Superman. James Olson rumbles in from a couple of yards out. 7-zip Mount Hope. More of the same on the next possession. It's Olson again, coming right at you. This a 40-yard adventure. 13-0 Mount Hope in control early. Mount Hope scored in their first 3 possessions of the football game. Aaron Booth with number 3 early in the second quarter. Mount Hope wins it 33-0. So Huskies, they are now 6-1 in Division IIA regular season co-champs. In the other Division IIA game, Burrville beat Cherho 12-10. Quick reminder before we take a timeout that all the highlights from tonight's show, they'll be posted online at WPRI.com first thing tomorrow morning. You can also see highlights from earlier this season. They're still on WPRI.com as well. All right, we're just getting started on this week's Friday Night Football Wrap.
Hi, we're the Cougar Cheerleaders. Stick around for more of the Friday Night High School Football Wrap.
8 more games to get to in Division IIB, D3, and Division IV. We're headed to Warwick, Cranston, Smithfield, North Providence, and Lincoln.
Hi, we're the North Smithfield Cheerleaders. Welcome back to the Friday Night High School Football Wrap.
All right, it's a couple of huge games on the schedule tomorrow. Pontiganset trying to keep their perfect season intact. The 6-0 Chieftains, they'll be in Narragansett. Hendricken will need a win tomorrow against St. Ray's to keep their Division I playoff hopes alive. Back to tonight's games. South Kingstown tied for first at 5-1 in Division IIB. Tollgate in a tie for 4th, so Titans needed a win. Third quarter, Skippers up 33-7. They keep the foot on the gas. Ben Hamill hands it to Patrick Franco, 40-7. Let's give the Titans some airtime, though. Derek Duran busts through from a yard out, but this night belonged to South Kingstown freshman Garrett O'Dowd. We love getting the freshman on TV. Makes his Friday Night Football debut, 47-15. South Kingstown cruises to the win over Tollgate. In Cranston, it was a battle of 2 of the other top teams in the division. 5-1 Coventry squaring off against 4-2 East. Oakers with the ball. They don't get very far. Thanks to the stifling Bolts defense, Keith Jernquist, John Riddensdale, Jamal Jean-Pierre all in on that tackle. Bolts with the ball now. They like to throw. Rob Reardon connects with Rob Bell. Bell takes it down to the 1. Marco Jones would run it in on the next play, 6-0 East. Cranston with the ball again. This was a great play. Reardon's going to roll out to his right. He's going to fire and find Joseph Hins Bozeman. When we left at the half, it was 14-0. And then Coventry scored 23 points after we left the game. Kids from Coventry Sorry about that. 23-14, Oakers rally and win it. Also in Division 2B, Cumberland needed a win tonight, but it would not be easy. Lincoln Lions looking for their third win of the season in the division. Second half, Clippers on offense. They're not in offense anymore. Lincoln's Brandon Jutras with the drive-ending sack. Brandon also had 2 touchdowns tonight. A little bit later, more from the Lincoln D. Javon Doobie with the interception. That right there seals the win for the Lions. Lincoln clinches a spot in the playoffs with a 28-14 victory over Cumberland. Our last stop in this division is Pawtucket. Shea Raiders entertain Pilgrim. Both teams hoping for a couple of solid games to wrap up the season. Second quarter, Pilgrim with a 6-0 lead. The Raiders, Manny Batista with a 25-yard touchdown run. That tied up the game. Shea's Josh Burgo will hook up with Jamal Tucker to get the 2 points on the conversion. Raiders with the ball again a couple minutes later, but Pilgrim going to take that football away from them. John Stevens with the interception. Drive over. Patriots get a big win on the road. 20-14 was the final tonight over the Shea Raiders. All these highlights are being uploaded onto WPRI.com as we speak. You'll be able to see them online first thing tomorrow morning. And we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving Day special. 27 games on the schedule on Turkey Day in Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. Our 30-minute special, 30 minutes of high school football on Thanksgiving. It's at 10 o'clock on Thanksgiving night. It'll be over on Fox Providence. Now to Division III, first football game for that little fella. 4-2 Johnston trying to wrap up a playoff spot with a win over Smithfield. First half, Panthers up 6-0. Sentinels on the doorstep, but Chad Garofalo makes sure they don't get through that door. Drive over. Second half, still a 6-0 game. It's a lateral, and it's on the ground. Johnston's Raymond Zinno knocks it loose. Garofalo falls on it. David Bubar turning the turnover into some points. Gives it to Mike Conti. Mike finishes off that drive. Johnston wins their 5th game of the year. Blankets a must tonight for sure. First place Middletown hoping to pick up their 6th win of the year in Division 3. North Providence hosting the Islanders. Middletown up 6-0 looking for more. Zach Breitsky with the pitch on the option to Dylan Gracia. Second quarter Islanders looking for more. They find it. Zach Yates hooks up with Anthony Riley. Great grab right there by Riley. That pass and catch set up this Rob Weaver touchdown reception. Islanders head into the postseason with a whole bunch of momentum. 30-6 was the final. Islanders, they now have 6 wins in Division 4. Central Falls and North Smithfield still thinking about a playoff run. Must-win game for North in order to keep that possibility intact. Central Falls on the attack. Steve Vasquez to Robert Allairs. 31-yard touchdown. Mr. Allaire's been on TV a bunch this fall. Back come the Sentinels. They had a great night at the office. Roger Sherman weaves his way into the end zone from 35 yards out. North Smithfield, solid win at home, 34-22. The final in that one. Last stop is Classical. They were in a tie for second. Situate was in 4th place going into tonight. A lot on the line in this game. Spartans trailing in this one. They turn up the D. The captain, Jeff Winchell, with the pick. He rumbles 40 yards for a touchdown. That would make it 16-13 Classical, but the Purple not going to let this one slip away. Quidell Simmons calls his own number, takes the handoff, dances into the end zone. Classical knocks off Situate 28-12 was the final in that one. Our Friday night football play of the night, couple of block kicks, interceptions, return for touchdowns, long TD runs, but we head to Portsmouth for their game against North Kingstown for tonight's play of the night winner. Kind of 2 plays in one here. Matt Berglund looks downfield, finds Zach Chavone. Zach, the pretty moves, works his way out of trouble, and he's off to the races, but wait a minute. Daniel Serena sticks with the play, strips the ball loose. Anthony Neal recovers. How's that for hustle? From that hard work, it led to a touchdown. A.J. Pollock scores this one. All about effort from Serena and Neal. Portsmouth knocks off North. 28-12 was the final. That's your play of the night. We're out of time. Remember to check out WPRI.com to see everything you just saw and some extended highlights as well. First thing tomorrow morning. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.